viewers, the top focus today, of course, is Tamil Nadu, and why we say that is because the inevitable somewhere seems to have been made official. There is trouble in the NDA paradise. BJP's long-term ally, the AIADMK, has walked out of the alliance in Tamil Nadu. Now, the decision was taken just a short while ago at the key AIADMK meeting in Chennai, where the party passed a resolution to snap all ties with the Saffron Party. Now, the writing was on the wall since 2021 when the BJP appointed a former IPS officer, Mr. Annadurai, was, taking over as the state president there. AIADMK has been fuming over Annadurai's constant criticism and attacks on the AIADMK, especially on late Chief Minister Jayalalithaa and AIADMK stalwart Annadurai. Now, things went further down south earlier this year when nearly 100 AIADMK functionaries joined the BJP. A lot of drama has been, of course, unfolding. We've seen attacks and counter-attacks that have come to the fore, but finally it looks like a decision has been made. My colleague Dharni joins us live on the broadcast. Dharni, you have been tracking all the developments that have been taking place. Where are you at this point in time? We saw celebrations earlier at the AIADMK office as well after the meeting. What's the mood like in the AIADMK camp? What are they saying?
Well, the cadre are definitely happy. They are telling that this is a long pending decision and they have been expecting Edappadi Palaniswami to take this decision way back. But nevertheless, better late than never is what they are telling. According to the party supporters, they believe that the AIADMK has been losing votes both in parliamentary elections and also in the 2021 assembly elections because of its relationship with the BJP. BJP has been bringing down the votes of AIADMK is what its supporters have been believing all this while. And now, since the AIADMK has decided to part ways with the BJP, it is all celebration in the party's headquarters. As soon as the announcement came, we could see, the supporters of AIADMK sharing sweets among themselves, exchanging sweets and, bursting crackers right in front of the party headquarters. So, definitely the mood in front of the headquarters indicated that the supporters are very happy with this decision and that they've been, thinking that this is a long pending one. And, politically talking, Annamalai has refused to comment on this development when reporters tried to, question Annamalai on this tie break. He refused to comment and he told that the BJP's national high command will, take a decision. They will, come to a stance on this. So far, the Tamil Nadu BJP has not reacted to this development. None of the spokespersons are, reacting to this development, at least, until this point in time. And, of course, this is going to be a very significant decision by the AIADMK ahead of the 2024 parliamentary elections because the AIADMK lost the 2019 parliamentary elections very badly, and in 2021 also, be it the assembly elections or the local body elections, the AIADMK's performance was very poor. So now that they've gone out of the alliance with the BJP, their electoral prospects in the state look a bit brighter is what political analysts are telling.
Right, Dharni, keep a close watch. We'll keep coming back to you for any of these updates. This is a developing story. We have a panel of guests as well joining us. Uma Anandan from the BJP, she's a councillor. Kovai Sathyan from the AIADMK is also with us. We have Mr. Arun Ram, resident editor from Times of India in Chennai. Thank you all the panelists for joining us. Let me open this up with Mr. Sathyan. Mr. Sathyan, I've been hearing some of your comments that have been coming over the last couple of hours, and you seem to be in the opinion that the BJP had this coming.
Yeah, it was evident. Say, Tamil Nadu, it is BJP who needs AIADMK, not vice versa. There is sanctity in alliance. There is a Lakshman Rekha. You can't take your ally for granted and most of the times. And Mr. Annamalai has definitely turned out to be a rabble-rouser. He is a new kid in the political arena. Rather than realizing his role and importance of it, he probably started thinking too much of himself, which has not gone well with the cadres of AIADMK, not gone well with even the people of Tamil Nadu. AIADMK having more than 2 crores of cadres, which is roughly about 20% of Tamil Nadu's population and 33% of the eligible voters. So you can't take your ally for granted every time when you have to be dependent on your ally. So I think it's high time that we show them the space where they belong.
Okay, but do you think that this issue is primarily with the state president, Mr. Annamalai, or is it with the BJP itself, Mr. Sathyan? Because if it was an issue with an individual, this should have been addressed, with the BJP top leadership. Because whether that attempt was made is also another question that comes up.
So you have to understand, Mr. Annamalai is a state representative of a national party. So we being the majority under the prominent force in Tamil Nadu, having ruled 32 years of 51 years of incorporation, we don't go against an individual. We cannot differentiate between state BJP and the BJP per se as two different entities. For us and the people of Tamil Nadu and the cadets, it's BJP. So when the Lakshman Rekha is breached, last time we passed a resolution condemning
No, but the
Annamalai.
issues that you seem to be pointing out are at one individual. Because all the statements that you made in your opening remarks, Mr. Kovai Sathyan, didn't hint at anything about the BJP, the party, the ideology. You spoke about one individual. So is the party's problem with one individual or the entire party and its ideology and how it operates?
Deepak, let me make it very clear. People are not as educated as you are. We are not ideologically the same. We've been saying this for many times. And we are an ally. We have a common task in front of us. And we have to fight for the common task. And the ally doesn't seem to realize the importance of it. People here doesn't see Annamalai separate and BJP separate. They see whatever he says is the voice of BJP. So you cannot differentiate. Whatever he says will be construed and it is taken as the voice of BJP. Whether he belongs to the state unit or he belongs to the central unit or from anywhere.
Well, I'm not denying that. He is the state president. His statements will be taken as statements of the BJP. I'm not denying that. All that I am asking here is, Mr. Sathyan, is the problem really with one particular individual, and could that have been addressed? Because you have had an alliance for quite some time. Either there has also been tacit understanding as well, and all of a sudden in a meeting today you decide to call it off. The only thing that I'm trying to decipher here is where is the crux of the problem and could it have been resolved?
Deepak, it was not all of a sudden, Deepak. This is simmering and brewing for quite some time. And have you forgotten that we passed a resolution condemning Annamalai's remarks about our leader Amma, Porchi Talavi Amma? It is not the first time. It has been simmering and it has been simmering for quite some time. And the onus lies on the top brass of leadership to take the action. Annamalai doesn't report to us. He reports to his bosses in Delhi. And if BJP, who needs AIADMK in Tamil Nadu, has to fall in line at some point of time. And you certainly can't give an impression that your ally is taken for granted. So this is the result. It is evident. It is bound to happen. Okay. The timing is. This was not decided all of a sudden. We had given enough room and space. We had given enough opportunity for them to correct themselves. They have not done so.
Okay. Let me bring in Uma Anandan as well. We've heard a lot of statements from Mr. Sathyan, mainly targeted at your party chief. How does the BJP really view the development today? Your opening remarks.
See, first I would like to say, if he says they are rejoicing, the feeling is mutual in BJP also. First, I would like to tell Mr. Sathyan, he has to come down to earth. Edappadi Palaniswami is not Jayalalithaa or MGR. Please let him realize that. And if he is telling that AIADMK is the senior partner and the most powerful leader in Tamil Nadu, that was a has-been case. It is history. But right now, I think they're all trying to close their eyes to see the growing popularity of Mr. Annamalai. And that is one point which is irking them. And I would like to ask Mr. Sathyan this. Recently, Mr. Leone from DMK use such unparliamentary terms towards Ms. Jayalalithaa. I cannot even repeat those words. There has been not even a whimper from AIADMK for such an insult heaped out at their great leader. What is an answer for that? So they can be choosy about the people, about the insults thrown. And second, I would like to ask him again this. He is entitled to his hallucinations and dreams. All the AIADMK people, if they think they are still the same old party where at the time of Ms. Jayalalithaa or MGR, it is not. let them come down to earth. But if they want to hallucinate and dream, they are entitled to that. So first, let them come down and realize the ground situation in Tamil Nadu here, where Mr. Annadurai is seen as the undisputed leader to take over the DMK. And what has been the AIADMK's reaction as an opposition party so long? No, there has been no noise from them at all. Even in the Sanatana Dharma issue, there was no noise at all from them. What are they telling?
Okay. Lack of leadership
So
in the AIADMK, they seem rattled with Mr. Annadurai and his growing presence in Tamil Nadu is the charge from the BJP. Before I take this response from Mr. Sathyan, I also want to bring in Mr. Ram, who's been patiently listening. Mr. Ram, how do you really view this development? You've been, of course, covering politics for quite some time in Tamil Nadu, and you've seen all the ifs and buts and combinations and all the permutations that have happened. But this, probably will have a lot of ramifications for, future politics in Tamil Nadu, won't it?
See, first of all, let's take this. Don't think that this is a divorce. I would call it at best a divorce notice. I will not be surprised that maybe a couple of months or even a couple of weeks before the 2024 general elections, these two parties will join hands and share an alliance. So anything can happen in politics, especially when it comes to parties like the BJP and the AIADMK, which have had a love-hate relationship for a long time, since 1998. So I would not take this as an absolute split, though a fact remains that a large number of cadres on both sides, of both these parties, would love to have a separation. Because I think the biggest lie that has been propagated is that the AIADMK and the BJP are natural allies. This was very conveniently peddled when Jayalalithaa was in power. And every time when Narendra Modi became the Chief Minister of Gujarat, Jayalalithaa was the first Chief Minister to call him up and congratulate. These gestures, and then of course they thought that the AIADMK is slightly more pro-Hindu, obviously because of MGR's and Jayalalitha's Hindu practicing Hindus as they were. But the politics show that they've been never natural allies. Under Jayalalithaa, the AIADMK has been extremely assertive when it came to the relationship with the BJP. Be it Vajpayee, be it Advani, or be it Narendra Modi or Amit Shah, he really cared nothing. And now, when Jayalalithaa was gone and a new leader has been appointed, and that too after a long, protracted legal struggle, the BJP is not willing to accept Edappadi Palaniswami as a leader. I think just a while ago, Mrs. Uma said that Edappadi is not Jayalalithaa. Absolutely, Edappadi is not Jayalalithaa. And this exactly is the attitude of the BJP. And the AIADMK is reciprocating, saying that who is Annadurai, who entered into politics just a few years ago to dictate terms to us, to sit face to face with us and negotiate. So there is an inbuilt a lack of inbuilt incompatibilities between these two parties. Having said that, coming back to my first point, I would not be surprised, because these two parties, for that matter, any party in Tamil Nadu or any party across the country, are known for having strange bedfellows and having a love-hate relationship over the years. So this is not the absolute split. There will be. Again, a valid point is, if at all Edappadi wanted to put his foot down, the AIADMK wanted to be out of the BJP, why did they have to send a delegation to meet Nadda? Why do they have to pay obeisance to Amit Shah and Narendra Modi every time they come here or they go to Delhi? So just 2 days before this announcement, there was a delegation in Delhi meeting with Nadda and some other BJP leaders. So were they informing them that we are going to take a decision of this sort? I think this is purely the AIADMK is upping its stakes for the upcoming elections negotiation. Already the BJP is planning to ask for 20 seats or so. So here is a way in which the Edappadi AIADMK is giving a strong message to BJP. See, we are not equals in Tamil Nadu. You may be big across the country nationally, but here I am the master, and I will have the first.
Mr. Arun, two interesting aspects that you mentioned. I want to delve further into it. One is that you said, of course, they've had a love-hate relationship, and more importantly, things could change in the next couple of weeks, even, or in the next couple of months in the run-up to Lok Sabha elections. Now, the question here is, the AIADMK says that the BJP needs them. They don't need the BJP. Do you think that still holds as good as it probably did a couple of years ago with the current leadership of the AIADMK? And is this overall more of a muscling tactic? Because, they have time and again, spoken about how Mr. Annamalai's statement hasn't gone down too well with some of the leadership. But the central leadership hasn't done anything about it. And when I mean central leadership, it's the BJP's, about either a change or any sort of, warning of sorts to Mr. Annamalai. So is this more of that sort of a jostling that's going on?
Definitely. See, the chemistry between the two parties is in a bad shape. But then we also have to look at the arithmetic. That might give you some answers to your question. So who needs who more? That's a slightly complicated question, because obviously the AIADMK has a huge vote share. Even the last elections, they had an impressive vote share, while the BJP is fairly untested as a standalone entity, I would say. I would be surprised if it gets 5% votes if it contests alone, and probably will not get a seat at all, despite nursing all these dreams in Coimbatore and Kanyakumari, probably. But so BJP, so to speak, needs AIADMK more in Tamil Nadu, and that would again depend on the prospects of the party across the country. If in the Hindi heartland, in the northern states, if the BJP self-assessment is that it is going to win a large majority of seats, they may not need an ally like the AIADMK and test its strength on its own at the cost of not getting any seat. So, but at the same time, AIADMK also needs the BJP in not in very getting votes, but rather in many other things. When BJP is in power at the center and going to have a third tenure, if it so assesses, then it needs a good friend in Delhi, because many of these people have had corruption cases against them. The way the central agencies are being used, so there is a kind of a bit of a stick and a carrot dangling in front of the AIADMK also. But purely when it comes to electoral politics, I think AIADMK, the internal assessment of the party is that the BJP has been more of a burden than a liability than an asset, especially with the minorities moving away.
I'll take that question, Mr. Ram, to Mr. Kovai Sathyan. Let's ask him about what he thinks. Let me ask this question to Mr. Sathyan about what he thinks. Is there a possibility, Mr. Sathyan, that in the coming months you could probably go back on this particular decision or rethink on this decision if there are changes or in the leadership, if I may say, or in the kind of statements that are being made, or if any sort of understanding is reached? Is that even a possibility?
Before answering your question, Deepak, I'd like to remind my good friend Arun Ram, his article today at Times of India, AIADMK and BJP should part ways for mutual good. That was the title. So it is not immediately or suddenly made a decision or knee-jerk decision. It was well planned by our leader. Our leader, Amma, used to take time to decide on something. Once the decision is being taken, she never retracts. She walks the talk. We see the same quality with our leader EPS, Edappadi. He doesn't decide fast. He takes his own sweet time. But once he decides, he doesn't retract. So ifs and buts of whatever the hypothesis in future, whether Annamalai is shown the door, whether he is sacked, it doesn't arise. As of now, the task ahead of us is 2024 elections. 5 months ago, EPS has ordered us to start the work on the booth level. There are 87,000 booths in Tamil Nadu because it was increased by 20K because of Corona. From 67
okay, but what do you
80.
make of the BJP's charge? Because Uma earlier said that you don't have a leadership like Jayalalithaa and you cannot really compare Mr. EPS to the late Jayalalithaa. And now, because of the growing stature of Annamalai, it seems like there is there seems to be a complex among the AIADMK leaders, and that's why these sort of decisions are being taken as the BJP's charge.
Yeah, I don't have time to respond for political novices. See, our leader EPS, he himself says that he is not like MGR, he is not like Amma. He knows where he stands, having put 50 years in the same party and started from the grassroots level and gone to the level of GS. He knows where he stands. And you cannot negate the fact, when the founder started this party, it was 16 lakh members. Our Amma grew it to 1.5 crore. Under the leadership of EPS, it is now 2 crore and 44 lakh cadres, which is roughly about 20% of Tamil Nadu's population and 33% of electoral voters. So you cannot sideline somebody like him stating that he is not like Amma. He never said himself like compare myself with Amma. He is staying to the ground. Unlike my other guy who thinks too much of himself, he says I am the one who will take the decision. My party will follow me. AIADMK is run by the cadres. An individual doesn't dictate terms in the party. It is a sentiment of the cadres that carries utmost importance. That was reflected today. It is a sentiment among cadres that all is not well with BJP because they are taking us for granted. They expect the High Command to take a decision. Unlike the state unit of BJP where Annadurai says, don't take me for granted, I am like this, I am like that, I am the superhero, I am the super boss, I decide, party will follow. That's not the way you put yourself and project yourself as a leader. So we don't have time for novices who are new to politics and who thinks that politics is all about movie making. We don't have time for that.
Okay. Let's not get into personal jibes here, but I'll ask Uma Anandan, what do you think the hopes or the chances of the BJP are without the support of the AIADMK, which, Mr. Ram was referring to. And of course, it's a reality that their cadre base and, their vote share, everything, of course, is huge. And for the BJP to get that sort of a support is absolutely essential. And even in the past, the elections where BJP has done well or won, there has been a lot of support that has come in from the AIADMK cadre. So without that support now, how do you think the BJP will fare in Tamil Nadu? Even if you decide to contest in the Lok Sabha elections going by yourself?
Sir, please, I would like to remind him, as you said, no personal attacks. Why this sort of a stomach-burning accusations against a young leader who is leading the National Party to such glorious heights? As I told you, they are trying to close their eyes and mind and heart, everything, to the growing popularity of Mr. Annadurai. Second, I would like to ask this to him. Did he answer about the accusation I heard, not the accusation, the true thing that I told, when they heard such a dirty insult against Jayalalithaa, they are still sleeping. And Mr. Sathyan has not opened his mouth on that. And third, I would like to ask, the recent local body elections, we stood alone. And in about 70 places in Chennai city, we came second. So is it not proof enough to show that BJP is growing? And if he says they are the biggest party and all that, they are growing, Mr. Edappadi is this, Mr. Edappadi is that, I think you cannot wake somebody who pretends to be sleeping. And second, I would like to say, he's giving a lot of quotes attributing to Mr. Annadurai, saying that I am this, I am that. Mr. Annadurai has never spoken like that. I would like to refresh his memory and speak the truth. Mr. Annadurai, yes, comes out as an honest leader who is taking the bull by its horns. He is taking all the Dravidian parties, and this is what is rattling them. And nowhere, let me tell you, AIADMK and BJP, the AIADMK votes never get transferred to its allies. Why? The allies votes will get transferred to them. You please see the election where we have stood alone and where we have stood in alliance with them. So let him not speak about ethics and all that. They have never been a faithful ally. Let's admit to that.
Okay. All right, Ms. Anandan. Now, more importantly, of course, as of now, the prediction from Mr. Ram is that we've not seen the end of this. Probably in the next couple of months, things could change. As far as the AIADMK is concerned, they say we don't need the BJP. The BJP says, well, we are growing in Tamil Nadu, and that's what the AIADMK is worried about. Let's, of course, look at all the developments closely in the coming days. I thank all the panelists for joining us on this broadcast and, sharing your point of view. And we'll probably come back to this particular issue because it seems to be a developing one. We're slipping into a quick break on that note. News and updates continue. Don't go anywhere.